Turkey is a NATO member. Turkey has the second largest army in NATO. Turkey controls the Bosphorus Strait, the only naval passage from the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. Turkey also has not condemned the U.S. strikes on Iran. Turkey has increased exports to Iran's neighbors by 240% since the war started. Turkish electronics, drone components, and machine tools are reaching Iran through Azerbaijan and Georgia within 10 days of leaving Istanbul. NATO's second army is keeping NATO's enemy alive. Subscribe. This is the NATO story nobody inside NATO will say out loud. The Northern Corridor works like this. Turkish exporters ship goods to Baku, Azerbaijan, a legal, unrestricted trade route. Azerbaijani intermediary companies, many registered in the last 6 months, purchase the goods and re-export them south into Iran through the Astra border crossing. A second route goes through Georgia, Istanbul to Tbilisi by road, then south through Armenia or directly into Iran via the Georgian-Iranian trade corridor that has existed since 2018. Turkish customs records show the goods leaving Turkey legally. Iranian customs records show goods arriving from Azerbaijan or Georgia legally. No Turkish law is broken. No Azerbaijani law is broken. No Georgian law is broken. U.S. sanctions apply to Iran, not to the transit countries in between. What is moving through this corridor matters. Turkish machine tool exports to Azerbaijan increased 310% in January and February 2026 versus the same period in 2025. Machine tools are used to manufacture precision components, including centrifuge parts. Turkish industrial electronics exports to Azerbaijan, up 260%. Turkish automotive parts, up 190%. These are the exact categories the U.S. identified in 2023 as critical to Iran's military-industrial complex. Bayraktar TB2 drone components, the exact drones Iran has used domestically, are manufactured by Turkish company Baykar. Baykar's exports to the region are up. Baykar's CEO is Erdogan's son-in-law. Erdogan has run this playbook before. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Turkey sold Bayraktar drones to Ukraine while simultaneously refusing to sanction Russia, keeping Russian gas flowing through Turkstream, and facilitating Russian oligarch banking through Turkish institutions. Both sides paid Turkey. Both sides needed Turkey. Neither side could expel Turkey from anything. The calculation for Iran is identical. The U.S. needs Turkey's vote in NATO, Turkey's bases for regional surveillance, and Turkey's control of the Bosphorus. Iran needs Turkish goods. Erdogan extracts rent from both without committing to either. He has done this with Russia for 3 years. It worked. He is doing it with Iran now. NATO cannot expel Turkey. This is not opinion, it is structural. The NATO treaty has no expulsion mechanism. A member can withdraw voluntarily, as France did from the military command in 1966 and returned in 2009. No member can be removed. Turkey knows this. Turkey exploits this. The last time NATO seriously tried to pressure Turkey was over the S-400 purchase. Turkey bought Russian air defense systems in 2019, which are incompatible with NATO systems and give Russia insight into NATO radar signatures. The U.S. suspended Turkey from the F-35 program. Turkey is still in NATO, still using Russian air defense, still at every NATO summit, still voting on NATO decisions. The S-400 precedent is Turkey's insurance policy on Iran. Turkey holds one card that makes every other consideration irrelevant. The Bosphorus. The strait connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean is legally controlled by Turkey under the 1936 Montreux Convention. Turkey can close it to military vessels in wartime. If Turkey closes the Bosphorus, the U.S. Sixth Fleet cannot reinforce from the Black Sea. Romania and Bulgaria, NATO members, are cut off from naval resupply. Russia's Black Sea Fleet, already bottled up, becomes irrelevant either way. The Bosphorus card is why Washington will not publicly criticize Turkey's Iran trade, will not impose secondary sanctions on Turkish firms, and will not push for NATO censure. One strait, one treaty, complete leverage. NATO has a member that is supplying Iran. Machine tools, electronics, drone components, through a legal corridor Washington cannot touch without breaking the Indo-Pacific strategy on one side and the NATO alliance on the other. Erdogan has done the math. The Bosphorus is worth more to Washington than Turkish compliance